Hello everybody. So today I wanted to talk to y'all about these 6 steps to drop any kind of income that is non-soulmate client work. So if you've been following me at all, if you know anything about my work, I talk a lot about soulmate clients. And the metric that I kind of discovered relatively recently over the past few months has been the metric of dropping any income source that isn't soulmate client work. And that could be a day job, it could be a business where you're not doing soulmate client work, it could be your soulmate business, but you're still taking on clients that are not soulmate clients. You're still doing work that's outside the scope of your soulmate work. And what I mean by soulmate work is a few things. One, it means your zone of genius. It means the work that makes you feel alive, the work that energizes you, the work that inspires you, the things you love learning about, how you love creating in this world. And the other major piece of a soulmate business and soulmate clients is the ability to share who you are authentically without bracing for rejection, the ability to set boundaries, the ability to share the things that you want and not compromise on the things that are most important to you and not have to settle for the things that are not in alignment with your purpose and not in alignment with who you're meant to be in this world and how you're meant to share yourself in this world. So this is about so much bigger than building a business. This is about doing work in your purpose. This is about expressing your purpose through your work and making an income so that you can focus on expressing your purpose and you can focus on work that's in your zone of genius and you can make enough income ultimately to experience all that life has to offer, all of the financial experience, things that require, different financial resources to experience in this world as one way of expressing your purpose. So it's actually the reason I call it soulmate client work, the reason is because it is about your ability to share who you are authentically, about the ability to do your purpose. And it really is at the end of the day, a really spiritual journey. So, for a lot of you who are in my community, the ultimate destination is a business where you're making as much money as you want, you're able to leave as big of an impact as you want, you're spending as much time working as you want, and you have the flexibility to work from wherever you want, and you get to flow between seasons of your passions and interests and zone of genius. You can indulge in creative ideas, and you're mastering your field and your industry. But like I said, it's that, but it's also about more than just a business. It's about expressing who you are authentically through your work, being seen and heard and understood and appreciated and loved for all of who you are because you have this platform to express who you are. And one of the first major milestones to getting there is to be able to drop any source of income that isn't soulmate client work so that you can focus on expressing your purpose through your work. Because money is a tool. It's a tool of your purpose, and it allows you to focus. It allows you to focus on doing the kind of work you want to do. And it also allows you to have different kinds of experiences in this material world. And so when this first major milestone, I've seen clients where this happens really quickly, and maybe you're somebody who's watching and it's already happened for you. But for some of you, it's going to take some time. It really depends on a lot of things. It depends on the mindset you come in with. It depends on your existing skills, your existing resources. And I've seen a lot of things. I've seen people go big and fast, and I've seen people, slow and steady. So I don't assume what's possible for each person and how quickly you're going to be able to get there. But I do fundamentally believe that there is no failure when it comes to soulmate work. There's just periods of giving up. And some periods last longer than others, and some periods, last shorter. But the best you can do is to stretch yourself at your pace, to have compassion for your pace, and to get the best support that you can along the way to stretch yourself and to learn the skills and the mindset required to reach that goal. All right? So how do you get there? So I've mapped out the steps, and I want to outline those 6 major steps to getting there with you right now. Okay. to a soulmate client business. All right, so the first step is just to make a decision that you're gonna make some time and space and energy for it today, not someday. And it doesn't have to be a ton of time, a ton of space, a ton of money. It just has to be a decision that you're gonna commit some amount of your resources today, not someday, but today, to doing soulmate client work and to building a soulmate career and a soulmate work expression. And here's the other thing I've seen is that it does iterate along the way. And so don't get overly, I like to call it soulmate work because there are lots of ways for you to do that and to express soulmate work. And here's the thing about step number one, which is making a decision. It does not need to be some big dramatic declaration. It doesn't mean you have to commit yourself to it for the rest of your life and for every minute and feel like you are either in or out or all in or all out. It doesn't have to be that big and dramatic. It just has to be that today you're gonna make some space for it, however much you can. And I would challenge you to stretch yourself to the edge of your comfort zone so you're always growing, so you're always expanding it. All right, step number two. And the other thing actually I was going to say about making a decision is that the reason that I say that it isn't some big dramatic declaration, you're not like locked in for life, is that often prevents people from taking those first steps, and it often prevents them from moving forward. And because the thing is that you're going to have to commit today, and then you're going to have to recommit, and that's okay. All right, and even periods of giving up are okay, right? But the more that you can decide that every day you're going to make some space for it, the faster you're going to get there. All right, step number two is to create a plan. Now, some of you, this may seem like so overwhelming because there are so many options and there are so many possible things that you could do. And you're right. And for some of you, it may seem easy because you may think, okay, I can just reverse engineer the steps to my income goal. But when I first started my business, I remember that creating a plan seemed impossible because there were so many variables, and there are so many variables. There are so many things you don't know. There are things you learn along the way. So you have to make some assumptions, you have to make some hypotheses, and you have to course correct as you get new information. So when you're creating a plan, you have to remember that if you want a soulmate career, if you want a soulmate business, your plan, it needs to include money for sure, right? Because that's going to give you what you need to be able to focus. But it also needs to make sure that you're finding the right soulmate business along the way. You're finding the right soulmate business model, soulmate clients. You're cultivating a mindset every single day to be able to express yourself authentically and to enjoy your business and enjoy your purpose along the way. Because if you just create a plan that is only focused on your income goal, you may as well get a day job. You may as well get a day job that you don't like. So you have to make sure that you include those pieces in your plan and they are built into your plan. All right, making sure that you're creating a structure and cultivating a mindset to feel in control and at ease and grounded and alive in your work and in your business. Not a business where you're making money, but you're feeling in chaos and constant conflict and constant disappointment and feeling defeated all the time. All right, and having to shapeshift yourself and chameleon yourself to doing work that you don't love, because again, totally defeats the purpose of the ability to do focus on soulmate client work. All right, step number three is that now once you have your plan and the plan includes the ability to course correct along the way, but to stay focused on those core foundational pieces, you need to get into action because there's only so much thinking you can do before it's time to get out there and to test things and to get feedback. And the feedback includes both external feedback, but also internal feedback. And so step number three is to take action, to build skills, to build the skills that you need to create results and to get feedback. Action alone is not going to create outcomes, okay? What you're doing, how you're doing it matters. If you want to create predictable results, you have to build key business skills, things like sales and marketing. And it's not, when I say take action and build new skills, this is not taking a training course and learning in a vacuum. This is real learning. This is practice. This is training, practice, get feedback, get help. That's how you really learn something and truly are able to master it enough, be autonomous enough to get predictable, repeatable results. Just like if you were to learn piano, right? Like you can't just watch a YouTube video on piano and now you're a master piano player. No, the fastest way to master piano would be to watch a really great training, practice, and then have a teacher who's giving you feedback on how you're implementing it and how you're executing it so you can keep building those skills. Because when you decide to become a business owner or really a leader of any kind, you've just given yourself a major promotion. You have a ton of new responsibility. And while you want to use your transferable skills, you have to get up to speed as quickly as possible on the skills that you need to create results autonomously. And like I said, just like piano, and the reason I know this is because I actually trained as a professional opera singer for over a decade. And what that taught me is that mastering any craft required those three things: training, practice, and feedback to truly get those skills in a way where I can continue to use them and get great results from them. All right, step number 4 is momentum. In momentum, you're cultivating confidence, you're creating skill mastery, and you're starting to reach those milestones, which is really exciting. And momentum is a really fun stage because you're getting win after win after win. You're in that momentum. You have little daily wins like your first live stream, your first opening your inbox without fear or dread. You have your first weekend where you're not thinking about work, and you have bigger wins too. You have your first $20,000 month. You have your first repeat client. You have clients who are getting amazing results and sharing their wins with their friends and family. And so to get in momentum and to stay in momentum, to keep you focused on reaching that next major milestone, you have to maintain your energy. You have to be extremely mindful of your energy and maintaining your energy. And in this stage, you're still mastering those practical skills and tools, but you're also mastering your emotional energy. Okay? And what that means is that it is impossible to stay in momentum if your energy is constantly being hijacked by distractions. All right? If you're constantly bracing for rejection or getting triggered by negative client feedback, this is going to happen. But if you want to stay in momentum, how you handle those challenges, how you get your energy back over and over again, and how you learn to build that muscle so that every single time it happens, it doesn't take you down as long, it doesn't leave you down as long, is going to determine how your ability to stay in momentum. And to reach those goals more quickly, more easily. The cool thing, though, I will say about momentum is that not only are we working with these triggers and not only are we, making sure that you get your energy back, but this is really the phase where you learn and discover and embrace all of the best parts of yourself, all of the parts of yourself, that you want to share with people without the exhaustion that comes from bracing for rejection. This stage, momentum, is really where you get to start feeling seen and heard and loved and understood and appreciated for exactly who you are, because you are starting to truly share your authentic self. And I had a post recently where I shared, you cannot come out of hiding and still be needing approval. And I mean, you can, but if you do that, you will go back into hiding so fast. So you have to learn how to share who you are in a way where you are no longer seeking approval, so that you're no longer worried about rejection. And it's a process. It's not something that happens immediately or overnight, but it is something that you can do. And that's really where, because you're able to share who you are, you're going to really be seen for who you are. Let's see. All right. And that phase requires ongoing, consistent mindset support and mindset coaching to be able to have that kind of lasting inner and outer transformation. All right. So step number 5 is actually the first milestone, which is to drop any sources of income that are not Soulmate Client work and to celebrate. And that's a really fun stage, because when you do that, when you're consistently attracting dream clients, your work is it's so rewarding. It's so rewarding. And you feel and you have the sense that you're living in your purpose and you're living in the work that you're meant to do. All right. And so finally, step number 6 is to maintain it in a way that is sustainable for you. Now, this may sound super obvious, okay? But what this means as a business owner, or again, any soulmate career, you have to intentionally design your business, design your work to best use the energy that you have now and to learn to expand your energy naturally and actively seek ways to get better results with less energy. Because if you design your business to require too much from you for too long, you will crash and burn. Because a sustainable business feels secure, it feels expansive, it feels alive. And an unsustainable business, you might be getting clients, you might be getting soulmate clients, but you're going to feel behind, you're going to feel overwhelmed, and you're going to feel in chaos if you're not learning how to maintain it in a way that is sustainable for you. It is about, and creating a pipeline of clients in a way that is sustainable for you is about two things. One, aligning the kind of work you're doing with your energy, with your zone of genius, and that means your offer, but it also means your marketing and your sales. And number two is your autopilot reaction to what happens to you or doesn't happen to you, coming from a place of deep self-worth, not insecurity, okay? Autopilot reaction, because if you're having to constantly convince yourself that you are worthy and convince yourself of your self-worth, that takes away energy from other things you need to be doing. And it is exhausting, and it's hard to make the kind of quick decisions that you need to make if you're constantly having to check in and ask yourself, is this coming from self-worth or insecurity, and how do I believe in myself? And so you just keep growing that autopilot reaction. You just keep growing it. The other thing here is that when you start to transform your autopilot reaction to one of self-worth, you start to become of opportunities that you couldn't perceive before. So what happens for people is that we will unconsciously limit our opportunities based on false assumptions, based on a lot of times insecurity. And once we free ourselves of that insecurity, we start to see opportunities we couldn't see before. And they may be critical for you to go to that next stage of business and to be able to create and maintain a sustainable business for yourself. All right, so that was step number 6. I have a bonus step, number 7. Apparently this was 7 steps, which is to decide once you're in that maintenance stage, and honestly, I guess it is 5 steps to get to dropping any source of income that are not soulmate client, 5 or 6, right? But after that, then you just get to decide, what do I want to stretch myself to next? Do I want to make a lot more money? Do I want to reach a lot more people? Do I want to write a book? You just decide your next financial impact, your next financial goal, your impact goal, your creative goal, and you start that process again. And you open yourself up to express who you are authentically in this world and to experience all that life and the material world has to offer through this work. So those are the steps. I'd love to hear, what step do you think you're on? Where would you love to see yourself and your business in 12 months from now? And what do you feel like you need in order to get to the next step? All right, look forward to hearing from y'all. Take care.